Hi there, Stampin' friends. Happy 2024. Can you believe it? We have a new year. This is Kathy Seminara from SemiStamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Huntingtown, Maryland. Have you made any resolutions for the new year? My resolution is to make more Stampin' Up! Videos because, in my humble opinion, I think their products are just the best. The coordination with cardstock, inks, embellishments, and designer series paper make it very easy to make beautiful cards and other paper craft items. Today, January 4th, marks the beginning of two fun things. The launch of the mini catalog from January to April, and Celebration. This is Stampin' Up's best sale of the year. With every $50 or $100 that you purchase, either from the mini catalog, the annual catalog, the online exclusives, or the clearance rack, you can go to the Celebration brochure and you can pick out items for free that are at the $50 price point, which includes sets, designer series paper, and there are some items in here that are at the $100 price point, like this die set and this bundle that includes a stamp set and an embossing folder. Another thing that Stampin' Up! Has during this time period is that they have two fabulous offers to join Stampin' Up! And become a demonstrator. When you do that, when you become a demonstrator and sign up during Celebration, for $99, you can choose $125 worth of Stampin' Up! Product. In addition, you can choose between these two options. Option number one, which has been very popular with demonstrators that I have followed, is the Glass Mat Studio. It's a glass mat, 17 by 14 inches, that is has sticky feet on the bottom so it won't slide. And it also is white, and it has a grid mark to make measuring a whole lot easier. With the glass mat comes a silicone mat that is non-slip, and it has multi-use. It's waterproof and heat resistant, and has 4 little wells in there that you can place your Stampin' spots, and it has a well here that you can use for mixing, color mixing your ink refills in water. And the third thing that comes with the Glass Mat Studio is the cleaning cloth. It's very similar to the chamois that's in the annual catalog, but it is thinner and larger. Now, if the Glass Mat Studio is not for you, you can choose an additional $30 worth of free product. That's a $155 worth of product for $99 plus tax. Two very good options. And what do you get when you join as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator? Well, you can get at least a 20% discount on all future orders, and you're eligible to pre-order items from upcoming future catalogs. You have training and development resources, and you have access to the Demonstrator Planning Place. That is a Facebook group that includes demonstrators from all over the world, so you can get hundreds and hundreds of ideas on what to do. So I would definitely invite you to become a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator under me. You never have to teach classes or make videos. You can be a happy discount shopper. Now, as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I said you could pre-order things. One of the things that Stampin' Up! Has in the mini catalog is, one of the suites, is the Perennial Lavender Suite. When I was looking at this suite, which comes with 2 bundles, 2 die bundles, paper butterflies, sparkly gems, and designer series paper, I couldn't decide which bundle I wanted to buy out of this suite. So I just ended up buying the whole suite. And I'm not sorry that I did. It looks much prettier than it does in the catalog. It doesn't do it justice. Speaking of catalogs, Stampin' Up! Often puts very pretty samples in their catalogs. When I saw this, I knew I had to get this suite. Where I live in Calvert County, Maryland, we have a history of farming and fishing. This is a tobacco basket, and this is my version of the tobacco basket. Calvert County is known for a place that used to grow tobacco. The tobacco baskets were used in the 1800s to gather the leaves and bring them to market. These baskets would prevent the leaves from having to lay on the dirty floors in the warehouse. Today, tobacco baskets are used primarily as decorations to hang on the wall. Mine is not nearly as big as the original tobacco baskets. So this is what I'm going to show you how I made today. Let's get started, shall we? Okay. Now, we all know that no self-respecting crafter is going to throw away the 1/2-inch strips that you cut off the end of your cardstock. I didn't have to cut into a piece of paper to make this tobacco basket. I just went in my stash and I got strips that I had cut off. This is crumb cake cardstock, and with pecan pie ink, I inked up my pine wood plank embossing folder. Then I ran it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Okay, we're going to start with 4 strips that are approximately 6.5 inches long. And I'm going to arrange them in a vertical arrangement. Now what I've done is I've curved them a little bit between my thumb and forefinger to make them a little curvy. This will make it easier in making your tobacco basket. Okay. Then I took 5 more strips that are about 5.5 inches long, and I did the same thing with them. And what we're going to do is we're going to weave them just like we did as kids when we made pot holders. You're going to go under and over, under and over. Now the best way I found was to put my hand on the bottom and not worry about what it looks like in the beginning, because you can always fix it. You just want to get them woven in for now. You'll see as I go along with this, I'm going to have to do some persuasion with these little strips to get them to go where I want them to go. But here we have the last one. I did a 4x5 because I wanted to make it as a rectangle Okay. Now we're gonna play with this to get them to line up. You want to have spaces in between them. Okay, now when I made my sample, I made it with multi-purpose liquid glue, and that turned out to be a bit of a mess. So what I'm going to try this time is to put glue dots. And I'm only going to put them on the end ones. I'm going to live a little dangerously here, folks, and only put them on the ends. Because I don't want you to be absolutely bored to tears watching me putting a lot of glue dots at every intersection. So, I don't know about you guys, but it's been a little gray and dreary here in Maryland. I hope your weather is a little bit better, but at least there is no snow. In southern Maryland, where I live, they're talking about weather coming, but it is not bad weather for us here. It is rain for the most part. In the western part of our state, where there is, sorry I bumped the camera, where there is mountains, they're talking about snow. And that's good for the skiers. And I hope they get a lot, but that's not for me. Okay. Yeah, look what I did here. Okay. I got a little rambunctious with that one glue dot, and I didn't put it in the right place. I put it exposed. Okay. You get the idea. Now, I did the same thing with an 11-inch strip of paper, embossed, inked up. I'm going to make this as the rim that goes around the basket. But before that, I'm going to persuade these young strips that they have to stand up on the edges. And you may have to get a little forceful with them, but it's okay, it's just paper. They don't feel a thing. Okay, let's go again and get our glue dot. I left my U-Pick tool upstairs, or else I would use that to pick the glue dots off. Okay, here I go. Going around. Now you can use the multi-purpose liquid glue if you want, but I thought this would be easier for me on the video. Now it doesn't matter if the strips are off the edge. We will deal with them in just a minute. Now what I had to do when I got to the corner was I had to make a little V-shape snip with the paper snips to tell these little guys, you have to go around a corner. Okay, let's get a glue dot on the end this strip. It just made it easier. Oh, and I did it in the wrong spot, so let's do another one. It just made it easier to bend. Okay. You know what I think I'll do? I think I'll just start by putting a glue dot on all the little strips. That might be easier. Shall we? Anybody else have a good idea? Okay. I want to make sure I have this in the camera. One, two, three. And 4. Okay, here we come to the second corner. Maybe I should have put these on. There we go. I think that's easier because then you just have to lay it down on your glue dots. Good idea. Hey, when you try something new, you learn things, right? I never thought I would be making a tobacco basket. All right, where's my other one? Okay. I'm hurrying, folks. I don't want you to be too bored. Okay. Number 3. Snip, snip. Turn this over. Did anybody do anything fun over Christmas? Both of my children were home this year, so I was one happy mama. And we even got a chance to go to New England to visit some of my family, which is always a fun thing to do. Okay, here we go. We're almost at the end of the basket. Okay, little guy. Okay, and one more. Snip, snip. And one more little glue dot. Oof. I think that was the hardest piece of this whole project, was to get that rim. Oh dear. I need another glue dot. I'm sorry. I hit the camera again. Okay. And we're just gonna cut that off. There's one spot I didn't put a glue dot. Okay, there we go. Now, with these little pieces at the top, we're just going to snip off. And that should make, whoop, that didn't come out very well, did it? You get the idea. Trim it off so everybody is, oh, look at that glue dot. That was way up outside of where it needs to be. That's all right. We'll put another one in there. Oof. Okay, there we go. Now, I have another strip that's approximately 5.5 inches long, and I'm going to, I think I'm going to use multi-purpose liquid glue, and I'm going to put it diagonally across the bottom of the basket. Whoop. I'll cover it. I had it marked as diagonal so I wouldn't use it as part of the basket. Okay, that's going to give it some stability. Okay, now this corner, for some reason, does not want to settle down. So we'll give you another glue dot. Okay, now we're going to come to the easy part. Let me get out my silicone craft sheet here, because we're going to build our bouquet. I cut out several leafy images from the Perennial Lavender set, and I'm going to arrange them here. I don't know if I'm going to use all of them, but we'll start off with some. Then I stamped and die cut the lavender flowers. This one in Gorgeous Grape and this one in Highland Heather. Now I'm going to adhere them, the Gorgeous Grape being in the back. And then I stamped and die cut the stems in Garden Green. And I'm going to put that right here at the base of the flowers. The silicone craft mat, if you don't know, is great if you're using a lot of adhesive, because it doesn't get your work surface dirty and it doesn't stick to the silicone craft mat. When it dries, you can just wipe it off, or in the case of the multi-purpose liquid glue, you can just wait till it dries and just rub your finger on it like this, and it just balls right up and goes away. Here, let's put one more little sprig off to the side. And then I'll splatter some more on here so I can lay my flowers right like that. See? There's a bouquet. And now, if it's necessary, you can cut off some stems that you don't want. So now we're ready to put our flower in our basket. Except we don't want to put it down in the bottom of the basket. We would like to have it raised up so it doesn't get squashed. I cut a 3/4 inch by 5.5 inch crumb cake strip, and I scored it at 1/2 inch, 2.5 inches, 3 inches, and 5 inches. What you'll do after you crease on all the score lines is that you will fold it up and you'll make a little rectangle. And I will attempt to secure this with a glue dot or two. And make a little rectangle. This is a little lift that we're going to put our bouquet onto. Just like that. So let's see. Shall we do glue? Shall we throw caution to the wind and do glue? Let's see about where. Let's try glue. Okay, like that. Give it a press. Put some more glue up here on this side. And then lay our bouquet on this side of the lift. I can flatten it down to push, but then I can stand it back up. Okay, now I took a length, about 12 inches of linen thread, and I'm going to tie one end through one of the holes in the basket. I'm going to tie a knot. Easy for me to say, tie a knot. One side, and then stick it through. Yep, another opening. Come on there, fella. Of course, I didn't have this much trouble, and I'm sorry, I keep banging the camera. I didn't have this much trouble tying this when I wasn't on camera. Of course, I would have trouble now. Oh, come on there, you got to go through the loop. There we go. Okay, I'm going to trim these little ends off. Then I took another length of linen thread and made a bow. And I will stick this onto the base of the lavender flower with a glue dot. Then where'd you go, little butterfly? Okay. I stamped and die cut 2 fresh freesia butterflies from the stamp set. And I'm going to put them in here. Boop. And one more. There. Now, from the Garden Meadow stamp set, I stamped the word hello in Gorgeous Grape, and I fussy cut it out. This I am going to add to the top of my bow with glue dots. And I'm going to stick it right there. Now, I decided not to put another ribbon on there, but you know what? I think it needs a little something, something. So what I'm going to do is take the sparkly gems from the suite, and let's see, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, folks. I don't mean to keep hitting. Okay, let's see. How about we put one right here? We'll call it a dewdrop. And let's get a darker one. How about one of these darker purples? And we'll put it right here. And this is really bugging me because I put the glue, the multi-purpose liquid glue, on the wrong side of the bracing member, the diagonal. And I wrote diagonal on there, and it was just bugging me. Okay. Okay there, Stampin' friends. That is it. This is how I made my tobacco basket from Calvert County. I hope you've enjoyed watching me blunder through making a tobacco basket. And if you have any ideas on how I can do this easier on film, I'd love to know. Anyway, thank you for stopping by today, and I would encourage you to look at the Celebration catalog and to determine, which I think you should, if you need to become a demonstrator for Stampin' Up. Please go to my online store, which is SemiStampers at stampinup.net, and use my January host code 7RDN9QJ3. Well, friends, that's it for today. If I continue my resolution by December, I should be a whole lot better with these videos. Thanks for hanging out with me. Enjoy your day. And until next time, stay safe, everyone, and happy stamping.